All right, let's jump right into chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. And wow, it kicks off with a question that I think we all struggle with, right? Should we dive into the messiness and chaos of life? Or should we step back from it all to find some peace? It's that age-old battle, action versus renunciation.
And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. This is the very real, very human question that Arjuna puts to Krishna right at the beginning of this chapter. You can almost feel his confusion, you know? He's heard Krishna talk of both options, and now he's like, okay, I need a straight answer. Which path is actually better?
So Krishna's response is pretty immediate. And honestly, it's a bit of a curveball. You might expect him to say that withdrawing is the more spiritual path, but nope. He says straight up that even though both paths can get you to the same place, the path of selfless action, that's karma yoga, is actually superior. And that one statement right there really sets the tone for this whole chapter.
Okay, so if action is the better way to go, does that just make renunciation a waste of time? Well, not so fast. This is where things get really interesting. Krishna basically flips the script and completely redefines what it even means to be a renunciate. He's telling us we've got the whole idea backward. It's not about what you're doing externally.
Get this definition. A true renunciate isn't some hermit who's run off to a cave. It's someone who has simply stopped playing the inner game of, I want this and I hate that. They're free from those dualities, like pleasure and pain, or winning and losing, that yank us around all day. So the big takeaway here, renunciation is all about your state of mind. It's an inside job, not about stopping your life on the outside.
All right, so let's dig into how Krishna connects these two ideas. He's about to show us why the wise don't see them as opposing forces at all, but as two different roads that end up in the exact same spot.
So you've got these two paths. On one hand, sannyasa, which we now get is an inner state of renunciation. And on the other hand, you have karma yoga, the path of selfless action. Krishna says that, most people look at this and see a fork in the road. You have to pick one. But the wise? They see a totally different picture.
And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter how you get there. Whether you reach that state of inner peace through quiet study and contemplation, or through getting your hands dirty with selfless action, you end up at the exact same destination. It's the same ultimate reality. And Krishna is emphatic about this. The person who understands that these two paths are actually one, that's the person who's truly seeing things as they are.
Okay, so if karma yoga is the way to go, what does that actually look like day to day? What's going through the mind of someone practicing this while they're, living life? Let's dive into that mindset. This next part is, it's pretty mind-bending. It might be the most radical concept in the whole chapter. The core belief of a karma yogi is, I'm not doing anything at all. I mean, that sounds like a total paradox, right? How can you be actively doing stuff but believe you're doing nothing? So Krishna breaks it down for us. It's like this. The karma yogi understands that the body is just a vehicle, a mechanism. My eyes see, my ears hear, my hands touch, but the real you, your consciousness, is just the silent witness watching all of this happen. It's this deep level of detachment where you get that your senses are just doing their thing, interacting with the world, but that little I we're so attached to isn't actually the one in charge. And this brings us to one of my favorite metaphors in the entire Gita, the lotus leaf. You've seen it, right? It sits right on the surface of the water, but the water just beads up and rolls off. The leaf stays completely dry, completely untouched. That is the karma yogi. They're living right in the world, in the middle of all the action, but the consequences, the stress, the karmic water just doesn't stick. It rolls right off.
So you might be thinking, why go through all this trouble? It sounds hard, this detached action thing. What's the payoff? Well, Krishna makes it super clear that this isn't just for philosophical brownie points. The end game is a state of being that, let's be honest, we are all looking for.
And here, Krishna just lays it out, plain and simple. It's a choice between two outcomes. On one side, you have the person who's constantly chasing results, driven by desire. They end up trapped, always anxious about what they'll gain or lose. But then you have the karma yogi, the one who lets go of the results, who abandons the fruits of their actions. And what do they get? They attain supreme peace. And that peace, it completely changes how you see the world. It leads to this incredible, profound shift in your perception. You start to see the same divine spark in literally everyone and everything. I mean, look at this list. A wise scholar, a cow, an elephant, a dog, even an outcast. From the highest social standing to the lowest, and even to animals. The wise person sees the exact same divine reality in all of them. How amazing is that?
So if you're thinking, okay, that sounds great, but how do I actually get there? Krishna doesn't leave us hanging. He gives us a very practical, step-by-step meditation technique. It's like a little roadmap. First, you pull your attention away from all the outside noise. Then you focus your gaze, your mind, to quiet the chatter. You regulate your breath to calm everything down. This is the practical work, how you start to build that foundation of real inner peace. And finally, Krishna brings it all home. He ties everything together. The whole point of the selfless action, the meditation, seeing everyone as equal, it all leads to this one final understanding, recognizing the divine as the ultimate recipient of everything we do. And this part is just beautiful, as the loving, benevolent friend to all beings. Knowing that, truly feeling that, he says, that is the ultimate key to peace.
So, when you boil it all down, the message of Chapter 5 isn't quit your life, it's transform your life. It's not about what you're doing, but how you're doing it. And that leaves us with a really powerful question to sit with. Think about your own life. Where can your actions become a kind of meditation? Maybe it's at your job. Maybe it's taking care of your kids. Heck, maybe it's just washing the dishes. How can you take something that feels like a chore and turn it into a practice of selfless, devoted action? That's the real challenge, but it's also the incredible promise of this chapter.